everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Jasmine the Goddess. Welcome back. So today's voiceover or video is going to be about something that I have noticed in my manifesting journey. I was actually supposed to record this some time ago to actually talk about this, but I ended up not doing it only because of whatever was happening, you know? So I had to fix those first and then come back to you guys, because manifesting, it's super easy. It's not hard, but I always want to fine tune it and get it to a way where I can get stuff a lot faster. And when I say fast, guys, I'm not talking about a month, 2 months, 3 months. I'm not even talking about a week. I like my things within days. Okay. So once I put my mind to it, of course, and I'm pretty serious about it, I want it within days. Okay, so I'm here to, on my channel, I'm into rapid manifestation. I'm also into telling you guys the complete truth, so you guys know everything about this. And that's it. That's what I'm doing here on this channel. If you guys can hear something in the background, like a heater or something like making a sound in the background, it's my space heater. It is currently about 50 degrees in Florida right now. I don't do the cold, so I'm in front of my space heater, plus got the heater on. I'm not playing around out here. So let's talk about something called cognitive dissonance. Ooh. The word is cognitive, or the verbiage is cognitive dissonance. So I think that a lot of people go through this problem and are not actually realizing it when they're manifesting. And something that I had to kind of catch myself. Cognitive dissonance, I'm going to look up the actual verbiage for it and see if that, sorry if you hear me typing, but cognitive dissonance is a mental discomfort experienced when a person holds two conflicting beliefs or when their actions don't align with their beliefs. Okay, that's what cognitive dissonance is. And a lot of us, when we're manifesting, we go through this where we will be affirming for something, scripting, whatever technique, robotic affirming, whatever that you use to get into the state. And once that happens, I see this a lot, once they get into the state, or they feel like they're in the state, something happens in the 3D. Let's say you're manifesting $20 million, right? And in your current reality, the one that you're manifesting your way out of, you had negative $10 in your bank account, right? And now you get a bill for $200. So from the old identity, you would freak out. You would say, "Oh my God, what's going on? I have no money, and I have more debt. I have negative $10 in my account. I'm going to have negative $310, whatever the amount is supposed to be, right?" You would say something like that. What's actually happening is you're not in alignment. So I know this, a lot of coaches don't talk about this, but I'm telling you guys this just because I want to make sure that everybody understands how this stuff works and how easy it is. You can't do that. You cannot. And I know a lot of you guys do it, because if you didn't do it, then you would have your manifestation today or tomorrow or the next day. You wouldn't be waiting 2 and 3 months, 3 years, 4 years. Some people are waiting years to see their manifestation, and I have no idea why. It's because they're in something called cognitive dissonance, meaning they will imagine one thing and then be living in a totally different reality. They're imagining millions, yet they're fussing with the $200 bill that just came and the negative $10 bank balance on their bank account app right now. They're still trying to figure out, how can I get myself out of this debt? They're still searching for a job that's going to help them get out of this debt. Okay, I'm not saying that don't look for a job, but they are manifesting from that mindset. Okay? Going from that mindset, that is the poor mindset. That is the old man that Neville talks about. You cannot do that. Okay? You have to think differently. That is the only way, or think differently, or in alignment, like I always say in all my videos, I'm saying this in every video, you have to think in alignment with what you would like to experience instead. Okay? So I know a lot of people are having trouble when it comes to things like this. They're like, wait, is that yes, that's what's causing it, guys. When you imagine something, yet you're still living from the old reality, you're going to get more of that old reality. You have to now lock in and feed that state. Okay? I said this before in one of my videos where you feed the state, or you stay in alignment with the state. You feed it by thinking as if you are that person. That still stands. You're not going to think in opposition to what you want. You're going to think in alignment to what you want to experience instead. Okay? So if you're imagining a bunch of money, yet when a bill comes in, you're freaking out, that doesn't make sense. You would more than likely, when a bill comes in, you're not going to say, I'm freaking out, this is horrible, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to say that. What you're actually going to say is, oh, okay, I have money to pay that. I already have $10 million. I already have $20 million. I already have $30 million. I already can pay this. I already can afford that. I can afford this. I can do that. Not the how, not the when, not the who, what, where, and why, as they taught us in school. Just simply focusing on living in that state and completely only thinking from that state in order to get what you would like to, what you desire. Okay? That's super easy. I'll say this again, guys. A lot of us are imagining one thing, and then when we get out of our imagination, our SATs, our scripting, whatever technique, some of us are going back to the old state. Once you get out of your imagination, Neville said this. I remember Neville saying this a long time ago. This is over 5 or 6 years ago. I remember him saying this in one of his videos. I'll actually find it if I can. Where he said, once you get out of your imagination, you're already in that reality. Let's say you imagine your SP and you holding hands and like being whatever. Once you get out of that, or you open your eyes and you're back in your room, wherever you are, you're in that reality. Your only job is to sustain that reality by thinking as if. Your job is not to go back to the old reality. A lot of people have problems with this. A lot of people can't see past this. But I'm telling you today, that is one of the things that's causing a lot of problems within the manifestation community, is that a lot of us are experiencing cognitive dissonance. So, stick to a story. Do not waver. That's what people mean by not wavering. Thinking one thing and then living from the old reality is definitely wavering. Talking to your friends about the old reality is wavering. Anything that is not in alignment with what you want to experience at that moment. Let's say you're manifesting a great relationship with your partner, yet you're on the phone with your bestie saying how much of a fuck boy that he is, or an asshole, or whatever, or dickhead, whatever. He's going to continue to be that person, and there's nothing, literally nothing that you can do about it until you decide that I'm not going to entertain that version of reality anymore. I'm going to live in my new identity regardless of what the 3 tries to bring up from the past. That is the past. It is no longer a thing anymore, and I will not pay attention to it because I know who I am. And this version of me does not deal with those type of things. Okay? So that is all. If you guys want to get with me for one-on-one coaching, all my things are in the description box. Honestly, guys, my coaching may go up because this is manifesting. It's easy, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, no, you shouldn't charge for this. I used to also believe that in the beginning, like, you shouldn't charge for this. But this is a lot of work, guys. Learning about this stuff and actually practicing it the way I actually did too, which is, I took the time to, test everything and everybody. I've tested institutions, financial institutions. I tested everything and everybody, and I don't care. And I will continue to do it. But for me to put that much work into it, yeah, that's the reason why I do plan on getting it to be a little bit more. But as of right now, the prices are the prices for right now. But if you decide that you want to do one-on-one coaching with me, all my things are in the description box. It was a pleasure recording this voice. over for you guys. I will see you in the next episode. See you later. Bye.